You opened up with cupcakes,
Yes.
and you said you were fine with that.
I was.
Brandon Wimbush doesn't get to ease into anything. How should he feel?
Well, he should feel like this. It's not going to be easy. We know there's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad. But if you're going to catch a defense or a really good defense, I'd rather have them early on in the season when they're not greased up in mid-season form. Hopefully the coaching staff will have a few tricks up their sleeves and a few schematical plays that Michigan hasn't been able to prepare for that give Wimbush the advantage he needs.
All right, he rushed for 14 touchdowns last year. You believe this is one of the best defenses in the country?
I do.
In Michigan. What makes them so dangerous?
Wow, they have so many good players, but their front seven is what really jumps out to me, and it's Rashawn Gary and Devin Bush are the two guys to watch out for, number 3 and number 10. Rashawn Gary's going to be a top 15 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Devin Bush is one of the most explosive defensive players in all of football. You're going to see him all over the field tonight, sideline to sideline, in the hall, meeting the Notre Dame running backs or Brandon Wimbush. But I'm extremely excited, man, right now. It's unbelievable.
And you can hear it getting loud here. There's an energy building in South Bend. We're getting set for an opener. Number 14, Michigan. Number 12, Notre Dame. Under the lights in South Bend. Kickoff is coming up.
This has been the U.S. Bank NBC Sports Report.
I'm from Michigan, whether you want to believe that or not. I became a Notre Dame fan once I entered the convent because you can hardly live in South Bend and not be a Notre Dame fan.
I had a lot of girlfriends through college, but for some reason, none of them were able to make it through football season. Michigan fans are intense.
I'm definitely a Notre Dame super fan. Dressed up as the leprechaun countless years for Halloween. Michigan games always have that extra firepower.
It has all the trappings of a heavyweight title bout.
Michigan and Notre Dame, it's back.
The most heated rivalry in college football.
Notre Dame, national champion.
Michigan has realized its destiny.
No man. We're gonna go.
It's more important than peace.
Touchdown, Justin Howard.
The kick is up. It is gone. Fire, rocket, touchdown, Irish.
He makes the catch. Touchdown, Michigan.
One of my favorite Michigan football moments is when Remy Hamilton drove a dagger in the hearts of the Fighting Irish.
It's good.
The last time we played Michigan, we beat them 31-0.
The Wolverines shut out.
That was a sweet victory for us.
But in 2003, beat them 38-0.
Touchdown, Michigan.
Take that.
Go Blue! Beat the Irish!
Go Irish, beat Wolverines, woo!
Go Blue.
Go Irish!
Go Blue!
The whole country pays attention to this football game.
Make no mistake, these are football heavyweights.
And it's really good to see them back in the ring together again. Just 6 miles from the Michigan border here in Indiana. Notre Dame Stadium sold out for the 263rd consecutive time for number 14 Michigan, number 12 Notre Dame, presented by Wendy's. Each school has won 11 national titles, and I know it's been a while. 88 for Notre Dame, 30th anniversary this year, 97 for Michigan. But still, over the history of the sport, these two schools have been a part of so many big games that when they come together, those gold helmets and the winged helmets of the Wolverines, it's a special night. You're in the tunnel with the Irish. Used to all come down one tunnel. Michigan comes out of that new second year in the stadium, confined, narrow tunnel. It can get claustrophobic in there. Jim Harbaugh's got his guys ready to go. So too does Brian Kelly. 10-3 last year. Only one loss here at home to national runner-up Georgia. And for this Notre Dame team, there's a lot of great production that they have lost. For Michigan, those defensive guys right around Jim Harbaugh, they can be a championship-level team. Test one on the road in South Bend against the Irish. Brian Kelly's ready. So too is Notre Dame 2018. And taking the field for the first time in 2018, here come the Irish. Year 9 for Brian Kelly, 16 years. His start of head coaching happened in the state of Michigan at Grand Valley State and Central Michigan. Senior quarterback Brandon Wimbush, second year he's the starter. He was 9-3 last year. 2.5-hour bus ride from Ann Arbor here to South Bend. The Michigan Wolverines take the field. Fourth game in this stadium for Jim Harbaugh. 1-1 as the Stanford head coach. He won here in 1986 as a senior starting quarterback. 32 years later, a new Michigan quarterback will take over for him in Shea Patterson, the transfer. Storyline set. Let's hear from the coach. Down to the field, and we get to check in with Catherine Tappan. We'll have a chance to talk to the Irish head coach.
Coach, one of the greatest atmospheres here tonight as you get set to renew one of the greatest rivalries in college football. But what does a game like this magnitude to open up your season mean for you? What's the biggest challenge?
Well, there's no identities really when it comes to recognize your opponent. So, you know, you just got to feel the game out a little bit. Two really good football teams, and let the players play. You know, don't get in their way too much. They've got to be aggressive. They got to go play, and players ultimately make plays.
Michigan returns a number of key pieces on one of the best defensive units in the country. What does Brandon Wimbush and the Irish offense need to do to get success tonight?
Well, they're really good defensively. You can't let them have havoc plays, big plays, interceptions. You know, turning the football over. You know, do what we do. We got to have some patience, and we'll get our plays if we're patient.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, Catherine.
Mike?
All right, Tab, great to be back with you. The 1984 Heisman Trophy winner, the Hall of Famer, Doug Flutie. Atmosphere, rivalry, it's got it all. But, Doug, we're not just tiptoeing in the pool to start the year. It's jump in the deep end for both teams.
I'll tell you what, it's a nightmare for coaches. Brian Kelly touched on it. You don't know what to prepare for. You're unsure. You're uncertain. They've had all offseason to change things up. You have young players that are going to be on a big stage for the first time. How are they going to respond? Even your veteran players need a little bit of time to get up to game speed. It's a lot different from practice.
Michigan fans know quarterback play wasn't good last year. Here comes Shea Patterson from Ole Miss. What do you think of the guy? What do you think their offense will look like?
I enjoyed watching him warm up. He's darting around in and out of trainers and equipment guys and throwing side.
He looked like you.
I loved it. He's an athlete at quarterback. He can extend plays. He'll bring a new dimension to this offense. Will Jim Harbaugh turn him loose?
All right, on the other side, Brandon Wimbush. He led a very successful Notre Dame offense last year. A lot of the guys who helped are gone in the NFL. So what do we see from Wimbush this year?
I'll tell you, he's going to have to use his legs today against a great defense, and that is his strength. He has to improve throwing the football. We've been told he has. He's going to get tight man coverage today. He has to hit some big plays down the field in tight man-to-man coverage.
He's going to get a chance right away because the toss was won by Michigan. When you have a defense like that, you defer. So you get your defense out there to set a tone early. Notre Dame's offense will be on the field. Look at the campus. Look at the dome. Look at the scene on this 83-degree night in South Bend as the 2018 season begins with a big one. The Irish and the Wolverines. Wish you were here. You're in the next best place. Tony Jones Jr., the running back, and Jafar Armstrong, 6 and 8. Back deep to receive. The kickoff will come from Jake Moody. Last time he played a football game, he was a Northville Mustang, 20 minutes away from Ann Arbor. And he's going to start this 2018 season. Freshman, now the kickoff man for Michigan. A lot of good games today. A lot of great matchups the opening weekend. As Mr. Harbaugh likes to say, where would you rather be than right here, right now? Because nobody's got it better than us. Off we go with a touchback, and Michigan's defense will come on the field to take on the Irish from the 25-yard line. So we've hit on Brandon Wimbush here a couple of times. The New Jersey native, the positive third Notre Dame quarterback, over 500 yards rushing and 1,000 yards passing in the same season. Did it last year. Where does he have to improve? Completion percentage was 49.5. That's got to be better.
Yeah, they say he's going through his progressions better. He's working on the short passing game. He's always thrown a nice deep ball, though. He spins the ball well. He's got a strong arm. He can make all the throws. Consistency.
Jafar Armstrong will start at running back. He's never carried in college football. This is his first action. Notre Dame loads up with a couple of tight ends here to start. Armstrong will run inside. Welcome to the Michigan defense. Khalif Hudson, number 7, who's one of their big ticket items in there, along with Josh Metellus on the very first play. Here's Wimbush, a very personable young man. He's a terrific runner. Will his running be the difference for Notre Dame from the quarterback spot? Here's his first throw of the season. He is flushed by Winovich, puts it up for Claypool, and it is incomplete. It was a 50-50 jump ball. Tyreek Cannell, the very good safety, and Lavert Hill were back there on the cover.
Claypool does a great job of going up after this. He had a window of opportunity, but the ball couldn't be lasered in. Claypool coming back to the ball, avoids the interception, and almost comes up with the catch. Hill had his hands on the ball and was in perfect position.
I gave you the wrong safety. Metellus, 14, was over there. These Michigan corners, we'll introduce you to them as we go forward. They're terrific. 3rd and 10. Claypool wants to know what's going on. There he goes. The motion starts. Michigan runs 4. Free runner there. Claypool's got it. First down Irish to the 40. Gain of 15 for Chase Claypool, the 6'4 junior from British Columbia, Canada.
Chase Winovich coming off the edge. Pressure on the quarterback. Nice job by Wimbush giving ground and putting the ball with touch to Claypool, who was wide open on the under route. Turned loose.
From the 41, Wimbush going up top again. Miles Boykin, the receiver, caught it. Flag down. Boykin was pushing with Lavert Hill. Let's see which way it will go. If it stands, it's a catch of 28. ACC officials working this game. Our referee's Jeff Flanagan.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. The penalty will be declined.
Michigan is going to give you those opportunities all day long. There's going to be one-on-one on the outside. Boykin, who came into his own at the end of last season, creates a little separation with a slight push-off after being held, but great concentration on the ball. He's a big boy. Go up high and get balls. Shorter defensive backs.
From the 31, Wimbush up top again, looking deep, looking end zone. Boykin with miscommunication with Boykin and Chase Claypool. Catch our breath for a second. Brought to you by Jeep, the Notre Dame starting offense around Wimbush. Josh Adams, the 1,400-yard rusher of last year's in the NFL. That's why Armstrong's big. Boykin a catch already. The left side, they lost the 6th and 9th pick in the draft. So Liam Eichenberg and Alex Bars, 2 very important players. Bars is the experienced one of the duo. Wimbush keeps across the 30 to the 26 with a flag coming down as Wimbush goes down and is slow to get up. Tyreek Cannell may have had the hand up by the face mask. Get poked in the eye. Let's see. Wimbush looking for the trainers. The backup quarterback is Ian Book, who we would not be surprised to see as we go through. Book was the hero, rallying the Irish in the Citrus Bowl win over LSU, and he's holding that left eye.
Just an inadvertent hand to the face mask, and it must have poked him in the eye, got him in the face. He'll probably only, well, hopefully it's just a short stint that he's on the side, but a lot of confidence in Ian Book when he steps on the field.
The junior from California, who's a better passer than Wimbush, hops in the red zone at the 13. And he gives to Armstrong to the 5. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Jafar Armstrong for the first time.
Alex Bars at left guard makes the key block. There's a great read by Ian Book to give the ball. Watch Bars at left guard. Pushes his man to the outside, north-south crease. He's in the end zone all the way. Makes one cut just for fun. He could have gone straight ahead if he wanted to. Great job by the left side of the offensive line, which is entirely new for this year on the left.
Pretty impressive. Justin Yoon, fabulous kicker for Notre Dame, the senior, able to add the extra point. A lot of new players going up against an elite defense with a lot of their key players returning. And in a minute, 25 seconds, it feels like 2017 in Notre Dame Stadium. Armstrong, receiver by trade, getting this experience as a running back for the first time, and what a way to start. Well, we talked about it a moment ago, 11 national titles each between these two legendary programs. Michigan #1 all-time in wins. Notre Dame now 6th after 20 wins were vacated. We'll talk about that later on. Win percentage very high. You can whistle the victors. You can hum the victory march. 43rd meeting, 24 of them won by Michigan. Last time they played, it was here. It was 31-0. Jim Harbaugh, when he got the Michigan job, now season 4 for Jim, wanted to get this series back on the schedule. So too did Brian Kelly. Scheduling's a little tougher now than it used to be, but they got it on for this year and next year on an October day or night in Ann Arbor. Not on the schedule after that, but so great to see these two legendary programs back together. Notre Dame's kicker is Justin Dorr. Ambry Thomas is back deep to receive for the Wolverines. Jonathan Dorr, I should say. The sophomore from Charlotte will take the kicking duties for the Irish. He kicked it out of bounds, so the ball will come out to the 35-yard line. They were counting on Dorr all year to be a good kickoff man. Didn't do it there.
Here we go. Huddle.
So here comes Shea Patterson. This young man grew up in Toledo, Ohio, as a youngster before moving down south to Louisiana. When he was in Toledo early on, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, parents had season tickets to Michigan football games, went with his dad, dreamed one day of being the Wolverine quarterback. He played 2 years at Ole Miss, eligible to transfer without sitting out a year. And now here he is living the dream. Wolverine quarterback. Drive starts at the 35. Patterson gives Karan Higdon, nearly 1,000-yard rusher last year. Gain 7. Tavon Coney on the tackle. The Michigan offense, it's a big mystery. How different will it look because of his skill set?
It's already different. A zone read play on the first play from scrimmage from shotgun.
He ran exclusively shotgun at Ole Miss, except for the downs where they were just taking a knee. Inside give for Higdon there. That's Alohi Gilman, the safety for Notre Dame, who started his career at Navy, sat out a year as a transfer last year, making his Irish debut tonight.
Coming from depth and slashing off the edge, closes down from the backside. Can't account for that guy. Gilman making the play in the backfield.
3rd and inches. Got to possess it right to the 45-yard line. Higdon does that as he's out to the 48-yard line before Asmar Bilal makes the tackle. The rover for the Irish, so Michigan gets a first down on its opening drive.
But we are seeing full-time shotgun, which is what Shea Patterson is used to from his Ole Miss days. 20-something% for Michigan last year out of gun. This year it looks like they're going high percentage.
Yeah, around a quarter of the Michigan snaps on 1st and 2nd down last year was out of the shotgun. Patterson operated exclusively out of the shotgun for the Rebels. From the 49, Patterson picks it up, throws it to Nico Collins. Hearing a lot about this young receiver for the Wolverines. Takes it into Irish territory to the 42. Jalen Elliott made the tackle. If you follow Michigan closely, you know they lost Tariq Black to a foot injury in preseason. He was going to be counted on to be one of their top receivers. Collins, who only caught 3 balls last year, sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama, has had a fabulous camp from all word out of Ann Arbor. 2nd and 2. Higdon to the left. Good first hit. He's taken out of bounds. Julian Love, the Notre Dame cornerback, started it. The safety Gilman finished it.
Julian Love came flying up for containment and took a shoulder from Gilman, and Gilman kept running, but he did make the play, slow it down, and help came along. Gilman is a tough runner. Evans, when he gets in, is a little more of a slasher and catching the ball out of the backfield.
Third and 3. And Michigan will run it inside. It's not going anywhere. Jerry Tillery, they told us as he tackles Higdon that he has to show for us tonight. It's what the Notre Dame coaches said. He does there and forces the Wolverines to punt.
That's Tillery right there, but also Dalen Hayes, number 9, slides underneath the block of the left tackle, Runyon, and makes the tackle, or in the backfield to disrupt it, and then Tillery comes up with the tackle.
Will Hart is punting. Brad Robbins was the punter who replaced Hart in Game 4 last year, but it is Hart who will start punting for the Wolverines. Chris Fink back for the Irish, lets it go. Hart hits it very well, and Notre Dame will have a long field to deal with. Excellent job by Michigan special teams. Irish on the board first, just underway on this beautiful September 1st in South Bend. After the poke to the eye, he'll gain just over a yard. That Michigan defense stout inside to slow him down.
And we may see a little bit more of that tonight than usual, with Wimbush carrying the football on design quarterback runs. It allows you to block everyone up front and get a hat on a hat and allow him to use his legs, which gets him into the rhythm of a game.
And you saw there's zero fear. It happened because of injury, but they are not worried about Ian Book coming in at quarterback. Armstrong running to his right and nowhere to go. This Michigan defense last year allowed 121 yards per game. They were one of the top 20 run defenses because of that guy in part, Rashawn Gary.
Gary right here. Watch him work laterally, fighting off the block, using his hands, and then runs to the spot. Great first step at the line of scrimmage. Powerful, accelerates. He can be inside or outside, could be a pass rusher.
You're not going to block him with a tight end.
No.
Alize Mack was there. Ain't going to work. 3rd and 9. Wimbush going up top, and it is caught by Mack, who took a hit to the head as well. Mack with the catch. Athletic training staff saw right away that he took that hit to the head, and they immediately came out to him. Josh Metellus was the one who came over. And the concern for Mack with the kind of hit he took with the forearm, it appeared, to the helmet.
Defense number 14. Penalty is 15 yards. The play is under review.
So the targeting, we have Terry McCauley who's with us on our Sunday night NFL telecast as well. 17-year referee in the NFL, joining us on our Notre Dame games as well. Terry, what are we looking for here as they look at this?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're looking to see if he's leading with the shoulder, forearm, helmet to head to a defensive receiver, which he clearly is. Looks like a shoulder right to the head. This is going to stand, and that player's going to be disqualified for the rest of the game.
And Josh Metellus, the starting safety. 12 starts at the safety position, a key part of this defense. And those of you getting familiar with the NFL, the college rules, it is that shoulder area as well in the targeting that they look for. As Mack remains down, he's sitting up and being talked to by the Notre Dame athletic training staff.
He's up.
He wanted to get up right away, but because it happened right in front of that Notre Dame bench, they were able to get to him. It's so great to have Terry with us on our broadcast of Notre Dame football this year, not just his NFL years, including being the referee in 3 Super Bowls, but the coordinator for officials in the Big East and the American Conference for a decade. So Terry's been a part of the college football rules experience as well during this time. So he's an invaluable resource to us on these Notre Dame broadcasts.
And in his rookie year in the NFL, I put him in a very compromising position.
He did. Yes, he did.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that, if not tonight, later in the season. But this is huge for Michigan. Metellus is one of their key players back there with Tyree Cannell at the safeties, Lavert Hill and David Long. That's a secondary that returned intact, and the conversation now is with that targeting call on the field, will they uphold it, or will Metellus be thrown out, and will Metellus be thrown out of the game? Terry, why do you think it's taken a while here?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, you have to have an indicator, which would be leading with the shoulder in this case, and you have to see forcible contact to the head, neck, and area. There we go.
And really the targeting confirmed.
Not sure why it took so long. I mean, when you're going to disqualify somebody, you really want to make sure that it's there, and they did on this play.
So a huge blow here for the Wolverines. You saw Mack go to the 10th, and that's the primary concern, is taking a shot like that he's okay. But Jim Harbaugh now down one of his big pieces in the secondary. Brad Hawkins, a sophomore from New Jersey, has come in. And incredibly, with that hit, Mack still held on to the ball. So Notre Dame picks up at the 46. Armstrong is hit hard after the gain of 2 by Devin Bush Jr. Preseason, first team All-America. The first of many times we'll call 10 tonight.
Very athletic linebacker. He'll get in some matchups with the backs in coverage. He may be spying Wimbush throughout the night in running situations. He is an active linebacker.
Officially a gain of 2. 6.5 gone by in what has been an action-packed opening quarter. Michigan scoring, or Notre Dame I should say, scoring on its opening drive just a minute and 25 in. A Jafar Armstrong touchdown run. Near midfield, Wimbush throws. It's caught by Armstrong, but you see Bush again. And what makes it so good, that speed. He was right there to limit the gain to 2. So we've already talked about Rashawn Gary a little bit. He was the top recruit in the nation. That was one of the top D linemen. You've seen Winovich on the other side as well. Bush is one of 3 linebackers. He and Khalik Hudson are going to make the most plays back there. So the returning corners are there in Hill and Long, but Metellus, that starter being out, will absolutely impact this defense for the Wolverines. And playing on the back end, Cannell is the high safety alone right now on 3rd and 6 as Wimbush escapes. Sometimes a good defense can't stop a running quarterback. First down Notre Dame, Wimbush at the 43-yard line.
Great pressure coming up on the outside on the edge to force Wimbush to step up. He has man coverage downfield, but he'll step up under it. Now in man coverage, everyone's back is turned. He's got an area to take off and run. He'll make plays. If he can get out of the pocket and get loose, people are going to have their backs turned, and he has opportunities for big plays with his legs.
Irish have picked up all 3 first down opportunities, and from the 43, Wimbush looking deep. Chris Fink down there. Fink, did he catch it? Yes! Touchdown Irish! Incredible grab! He mossed him. He took it away from the defensive back.
The substitute safety, Brad Hawkins, is in at safety. He's in great position to make the play. This is a just throw it ball, and Fink goes up and gets it. Wimbush had made up his mind he was throwing this post route no matter what, threw it up, and Fink goes up over Hawkins, pulls it away, hangs on middle receiver. There he is. Little stick move, beats his man, but the safety's in good position. Hawkins can make the play. Fink takes it away.
Yoon on for the extra point. And Notre Dame has scored 2 touchdowns against this vaunted defense. Chris Fink used to be a walk-on. He's on scholarship, and he stars on stage tonight. Wild scene outside. Exciting start for the Irish inside. Up 14-0. Notre Dame's receivers have made plays in the air. Brandon Wimbush has been on the mark. So far, Notre Dame has 143 yards on 14 plays. Brad Hawkins is the safety who's now on the field on defense because of the ejection of Josh Metellus that showed on that touchdown. Ambry Thomas takes this back for Michigan. And Thomas gets to the sideline showing good speed. Flag is down. Back behind the play, not at the tackle, as Thomas went out around the 36-yard line. So let's sort this out. The Michigan sideline was making that throw a flag motion for a late hit on the sideline. That's not the marker on the field. The Michigan offense retreating here. Harbaugh over with a word for Shea Patterson, you know, so connected with the quarterbacks at all of his stops.
On the play, 1 by each team. During the return, holding, number 28, receiving team. That penalty will be penalized 10 yards, spot of the foul. After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Number 39, 15 yards will be added from the succeeding spot. First down for the receiving team.
That's the kicker, Jonathan Doerer, who was responsible for that late hit. That's what the Michigan bench was looking for. I didn't see the flag thrown in there. Brian Pullian, special teams coordinator, talking to Doerer. He just lost his landmark there on the sideline. It was one step by Thomas in the white. And again, just watching right around that play, I didn't see a flag thrown, but The call correct. It all evens out in the math. So the Wolverines taking over at their own 27 for the second drive for Shea Patterson. Back under center. He'll hand it on the turn. Donovan Peoples-Jones, good receiver last year for Michigan, takes it to the 34-yard line.
So in the second series of the game, now you see multiple tight ends, standard sets. They run the jet sweep out of it, but he was under center.
Just trying to read the tea leaves of what Michigan's offense will look like. A little more multiplicity. Line up with tight ends, but also do this. Empty and 5 wide. Didn't see a lot of this from the Wolverines last year. But you will with Patterson. It fits his skill set as Peoples-Jones extends for the first down, right at the marker at the 38-yard line. See, might just be a little bit shy. This Michigan offense, in addition to Patterson, Karan Higdon almost 1,000 yards with 2 backs. We've heard from Peoples-Jones here. Watch their receiving core in terms of the tight ends as well. That's John Runyon, the NFL star's son. John Runyon Jr., another Michigan man. He mans the left tackle spot on an O-line that struggled last year. They are effusive in the praise of the center, Cesar Ruiz. Think he's going to be very good. Patterson on the boot and on the run. He looks so comfortable doing that. To Peoples-Jones at the 45. It's second and long 3 coming up for the Wolverines.
So natural throwing the ball on the move, and that's what I saw him in pregame, just bouncing around, throwing from different arm angles, and the quick rhythm passing. He drew the quick hitch on the play before. Ball's out on time. He's very accurate with the football, and he can drop the arm down at different angles. He's fun to watch for me.
So he played his freshman year when Chad Kelly was injured at Ole Miss. Then played 7 games to start the season last year in the SEC. Got injured and didn't finish, and then the transfer. Play action. Couple receivers deep. Taking a shot for Nico Collins. Not close. Julian Love really running with him. Step by step. You know, why don't we get into this deal with Shea Patterson? Why do you transfer and you're able to play right away? Well, in his recruitment, it was ruled that he was misled the severity of the wrongdoing in Ole Miss. So, after a lot of NCAA wrangling back and forth, he was able to transfer, go to Michigan, went through spring ball not knowing if he would be cleared. Finally, they changed the procedure within the NCAA. The ruling came down. Ole Miss did not stand in the way, so he was able to be eligible right away. Found out after spring ball, although he participated in the spring, and was named the starter a couple of weeks ago by Jim Harbaugh. 3rd and 4. Patterson throws complete to Zach Gentry, the tight end, with the first down. The Irish side at the 48-yard line.
And this is what his forte, quick rhythm passing, set your feet and turn it loose. He's just got a quick little out route by the tight end, bam, right on the numbers, put it on his outside shoulder away from the defender, great ball placement, and Gentry's a big, big target.
Notre Dame brought an extra rusher and a good job by Karan Higdon to pick up the pressure. Higdon is next to Patterson now. 48, quickly out. Oliver Martin gets his first look of the night to the 42-yard line. Oliver Martin, a sophomore from Iowa, was the top high school player in that state when he was recruited by Jim Harbaugh. A little young talent. This is now Harbaugh's team. Most of the guys he recruited are the players who make up the core of this Michigan team. Year 4 for Jim. 2nd and 3. Patterson on the run. I love the way he does. He's so comfortable doing that. Grant Perry at the 29, first down. Wolverines on the march here.
He's your shortstop, charging the ball on the ground and throwing it sidearm over to first. He gets outside, the corner route is going to be wide open, and as he gets outside, he's just relaxed. He's got pursuit, but it doesn't bother him. It doesn't phase him. He can drop down the arm and throw it sidearm.
So Notre Dame's coverage has to be tight if he's going to get it out quick. The 29. Gives it to Higdon, and Higdon will take it for 4 yards to the 25-yard line. So this Notre Dame defense, Doug, they're good up front. They've got 8 guys that they like in that defensive line. A couple of linebackers they like, not much depth. Tavon Coney and Drew Tranquil, 4 and 23, need to be big for the Irish this year.
They have to stay healthy. The backups are very, very inexperienced. Those 2 in the middle linebacker are key to this defense.
Again, Michigan goes empty. No back. Notre Dame shows heat. They bring 5. Patterson hit as he threw it. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. Dalen Hayes got through, got to Patterson. Hayes went to high school for 1 year in Ann Arbor at Skyline High School. With the pressure, Gilman almost had the pick.
Dalen Hayes coming free off the edge. They're bringing more than they can block. Coming off the edge. Doesn't see him, gets hit, ball in the air, becomes a jump ball. Hayes has had 3 pressures already. Coney has had 1. His defense is getting after the Michigan offensive line.
From here, field goal will be 42 at 43 yards. Michigan needs 6 to get a first down. Irish show pressure. They bring 4. Patterson is flush. He's in trouble. He is sacked out of field goal range at the 40. Khalid Kareem, Detroit kid, Harrison High School, makes the play.
Have a little stunt going here, and Kareem loops to the outside and becomes unblocked. Watch him from inside, looping out. And that's the one problem being a mobile quarterback. You always believe you can run away from pressure. Sometimes versus pressure, your arm gets you out of trouble, and you've got to get rid of the football. Shea Patterson is used to being able to avoid people and get out and create. When you bring extra rushers that are totally unblocked, sometimes balls just got to go.
Loss of 16 there. Will Hart on, try to pin Notre Dame inside the 5 again. This time he can. It's a touchback. So Notre Dame's defense, not the heralded defense coming in tonight. 2 drives, 2 big plays to get the Michigan offense off the field, including a kid who grew up not too far from Ann Arbor. Download the NBC Sports app to watch thousands of live sporting events. 3 for 3 with your NBCSN subscription. All the details there for you at NBCSports.com/live. Students said in the spring they wanted to wear green, and there is a lot of green, most I've seen in the last few years here in the stadium tonight. Irish will take over at their own 20-yard line. We've seen Jafar Armstrong for a couple of series now. Avery Davis in there at running back. Michigan crowding the line. Here is Davis. He came here as a quarterback. He was recruited to be a passer. He loses a couple of yards there. So this Michigan defense, they didn't think it was going to be 2 drives and 2 scores. Don Brown is a fabulous defensive coordinator in his 3rd season at Michigan. You look at different metrics, different numbers, number 3 in the country, number 1 in the country, depending which stat you pick out. And they returned 9 of the 11 players. So they were good. They had a lot of confidence coming in, but it took a little shot here early on. That's a bad pass because Cole Kmet had a dive to save it instead of a catch and a run. And now it's going to be 3rd down. And Doug, this is a defense that is so good on 3rd down.
Best in the country last year on 3rd down. Pressures, guys that can beat you one-on-one with pass rush when they know you're throwing the football. Gary and Winovich off the edge, 15-3.
I love what Don Brown told us. We give you nothing easy. We can test every throw. His mentality is aggressiveness. And sometimes if you're too aggressive, overcome it with speed. They play hard, they play fast. Here comes Winovich and Gary. They hit each other. Over the middle, it's incomplete from Boykin. And it will be 4th down. Those 2 guys were buzzing off the edge and knocked each other down.
Both of them turn the corner and a little step up by Wimbush. Here comes Gary on this side. He lowers that shoulder and dips around as Winovich is doing the same on the opposite side. Beautiful little step up by Wimbush. Here again, this is his move, man. Tuck that shoulder underneath and get there. That was a tight corner, and he got there. And Wimbush did a nice job of stepping up, but didn't come up with the throw.
Very good pocket presence. Tyler Newsome is a captain for the Irish. A different punt formation this year for Notre Dame. As Newsome kicks it away, Donovan Peoples-Jones says get away because it is a rare bad kick that Notre Dame touches at the 40-yard line. That'll be the spot. It's just a 24-yard punt for the graduate student, the captain, and great field position for Michigan.
The Winter Classic is more than a hockey game. It's a return to its roots.
It's good to hear Doc Emmerich's voice. He'll be here 4 months from today when the Blackhawks and the Bruins meet on New Year's Day. And that'll be 5 years to the day after the only other Winter Classic on a college campus back in Ann Arbor. And the Maple Leafs and the Red Wings played. Look forward to that on NBC. From the 41, here comes Michigan with a run with Karan Higdon. And he'll get about 3 yards. Tavon Coney with the tackle. Final minute of this opening quarter. The Irish scored in their first 2 drives. Jim Harbaugh's new look offense, little spread, little lineup. They're averaging 3.5 yards per play thus far.
Well, they jumped back into 2-back set and ran power row with power football right at you. And they had a crease. So maybe he's going to work his way back under center and do his standard run game.
You see that number there. It was Michigan football. It's Bo. It's a fullback and line up and go. And they got a guy who can do it too in Higdon. 2 runs for the first down. Karan, the senior from Sarasota, Florida, takes it down to the 29-yard line.
He made Drew Tranquil miss in the hole and stayed up through the hole and had a nice little gain out of that one.
Tight end Sean McCune lines up as a fullback. And it's play action on first down. Patterson looking, scanning. He's got Gentry. Zach Gentry just a gain of 3 yards, and that will bring this opening quarter to an end. Notre Dame jumps out early on top of Michigan. 14-0 after 1. We're back at Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. So glad you're with us. You watch Notre Dame football on NBC. Presented by Wendy's. Tonight's aerial coverage being brought to you by the unexpected energy of ExxonMobil. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, our officiating expert up here in the booth. Liam McHugh, Chris Sims, this pregame, halftime, postgame, and a postcard from South Bend. Glad you're with us to open this 2018 season with number 12 Notre Dame, number 14 Michigan. It's the Irish up 14-0, but the Wolverines trying to take advantage of a bad punt by Notre Dame. Higdon with the run. Ruiz now lost his helmet here, so he's going to have to come out for a play. Always dangerous when you have to bring in your backup center.
Well, he fired his helmet back on and slipped it into the huddle. Officials letting him know, hey, son.
Yeah.
Hey.
No,
but you're right. Substitute center, no practice snaps.
Right.
I want to get in the shotgun. I don't want to be under center.
And the center is Steven Spinellis, who was a guard by trade. But before the bowl game last year, they tried to cross-train him at center. And he played about half that bowl game at center. So he's comfortable with the spot. Patterson gonna come back here in the gun, like you said.
A little more comfortable.
No doubt. 3rd and 3. Want it. Clapping. Good snap by Spinellis. Patterson's got it up. And it's complete for the first down. Nico Collins gets hit by multiple Notre Dame defenders. But a first down to the 15-yard line.
Just one-on-one, and the key to this is the timing. He's not really that open. You're open on a slant route. Collins is a big body guy up top coming on the slant. He's a big body guy, so you just screen your defender off, and the ball is right in his chest. And it was not the prettiest ball in the world, but there was no panic. You know, he was trying to get the ball snapped. It was late, and he still delivers the strike.
6'4", big frame, big strong hands. You saw the center Ruiz, 51, back in for the Wolverines, and Patterson under center. On the roll in the boot, throws it complete to McCune inside the 10-yard line. Give him 7, maybe 8 on that first down.
See how accurate that throw is on the move? I mean, front shoulder, right on the front number. He comes across, naked bootleg, out leverage the defense. Boom, right on the front number so he can catch it running.
It's like a machine put it in there, right? 2 for the first down, 7 for the touchdown. Higdon's got the 2. It'll be 1st and goal for Michigan. Again, this great field position started with an uncharacteristically poor punt, a 25-yarder. They gave Michigan the ball at the 40 of the Irish.
But this has been Michigan football. This is more power football this drive. 2-back sets, under center a lot. Play action and bootleg off it. So it's not the spread stuff that Shea Patterson had done at Ole Miss. This is the Michigan of last year with Shea Patterson at quarterback.
Sophomore Ben Mason, 42, in there at fullback. Beauty is you can show this stuff, but run the other stuff out of it. 1st and goal, Wolverines looking for the first points of the year. Higdon left. Tackled inside the 3-yard line. Tavon Coney, we have called number 4's name a lot over there to make the play.
Great job at the point of attack, creating a hole, but Coney flows to make that. I mean, there's a crease there, and he closes in a hurry to avoid the touchdown.
Second and goal, play action. The fullback Mason is covered. Patterson's in trouble, and he's sacked by Jerry Tillery. So this Notre Dame defense continues to come up with big plays when Michigan's on the march.
Jerry Tillery finishes it off, and Dalen Hayes had pressure from the outside. There's Tillery in there. Michigan cannot block Hayes on the outside at all. Tillery on the inside closes the gap. Nowhere to run.
Injured Notre Dame defensive player.
Dalen Hayes, number 9, has been just shedding his blocks and getting in the backfield all day so far.
Myron Tagovailoa Amosa, sophomore, played a little bit in the 13 games he was active for last year, being looked at by the Notre Dame athletic training staff down at the 10-yard line. He's part of that interior defense with Tillery and Jonathan Bonner as they look at the defensive lineman. A timeout. Wolverines going to face a third and goal from the 10-yard line here. 85-degree night, humidity is about 75%, so it is sticky this season. Let's go back to Myron Tagovailoa Amosa, the sophomore. Went down as he was trying to avoid Tillery coming in to get Patterson. Limped off. They go with 3 defensive ends. They take 9. Dalen Hayes kick them inside in pass rush situations. Like this one, third and goal. Notre Dame has 5 DBs on the field. Out of empty, Notre Dame's been good so far when Michigan's had no backs. Patterson wants it. He's got it. He's got time. Incomplete, broken up by the safety Gilman. It was intended for Zach Gentry. And on 4th down, Michigan will try to kick a field goal.
Gentry is a big, tall, tight end. He's going to be running an in route. Comes around linebacker level. Gilman breaks and makes a great play on the ball. Gentry, big boy, great hands, reaches out to catch it. Stripped with the left hand by Gilman. That's just a great job of playing the ball in the air.
Again, Gilman, the transfer from Navy, born in Hawaii, very good football player. Big difference in this secondary. 28-yard field goal attempt. Semifinalist for the Groza Award last year. Quinn Nordine, one of the better returning kickers in college football, knocks it through and gets Michigan's first points of the season. That's 3 instead of 7. Gilman, a big part of that. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By Kia Motors. Visit kia.com to learn more. By U.S. Bank, the power of possible. And by Verizon, now go mix and match family unlimited plans. You see some of the legendary coaches, Hall of Famers, who've been a part of this series through the years, including Lou Holtz, 1988. Lou's lads started against Michigan, won the opener, and went on to win the national championship. They celebrate the 30th anniversary of that. Now Jim Harbaugh, who was in this as a player as well, and Brian Kelly get to be a part of this special rivalry. Not much wind of a factor. Jake Moody to kick it off. Again, you can fair catch these in the field of play between the goal line and the 25. This one just your regular old-fashioned touchback, and the Irish will take it out at the 25. So Brandon Wimbush, we told you about last year, his first year as a starter. There was some good for Professor Kelly's quarterback at junior year. 14 rushing touchdowns, A+ for that, of course. Best for a Notre Dame quarterback in a single season. 5.7 a carry, 803 rushing yards, second best for a quarterback. Get an A for that. Yeah, but we need some improvement here on a completion percentage. In this day
what is the pass fail percentage here?
Yeah, well, in this day and age, Doug, 49.5% is not acceptable. It's one of the things they talked about had to get better this year.
But he is lights out so far today, putting the ball right on the money on fade routes, down the field throws, and tight coverage.
Tony Jones Jr. is the back, And Wimbush keeps it and runs it. You see a little bit of what he does so well on that first down run. By the way, Alize Mack, who was injured on that play where Josh Metellus was called for targeting and ejected from the game, Mack has cleared concussion protocol. He is back in the lineup. Second and 4, and a look over to the sideline after seeing what Michigan's defensive first look is. Notre Dame said preach patience on offense against this talented defense. Wimbush decides to keep it. He pulls it out of the stomach of the running back Jones and gains 2 to the 33-yard line.
Well, the first zone read type of play to the left side, he did a great job of reading Gary. There he was a little indecisive. It took a little too long to pull the ball and get to the corner, never got the edge. But he's such a threat, and against these talented defenses, with his ability to run the football, you have to use the quarterback as a runner, because it's the only time you can block every man.
It's third and manageable. Michigan loads that defensive line. Devin Bush, number 10. He and 7, Khalid Hudson, with 15, Winovich. Game-changing plays they can make at the drop of a hat. Play clock running down.
A lot of press coming.
Timeout taken on the sideline by the Notre Dame coaching staff. So they looked over to see what the adjustment was. Took too long to get it to where it needed to get to, and the timeout taken by Notre Dame and Wimbush. So, Doug, it's a great thing when you have a quarterback who can throw as well, or can run as well as he can. But in this day and age where points are so plentiful and you're missing guys on the offensive line, he's going to have to pass it a little bit just to give him a chance to run for success.
I think it was so big that he hit his first few downfield throws and came out with some positive feedback right away. Now his confidence level is there, and he's delivering the ball. He's throwing some nice fade routes. He had a nice matchup with his tight end Mack on a linebacker Furbush and hit him on the fade. He's done a really nice job with all that. And then, he can always go to the zone read and run on the football thing.
And there's some pressure on him because players know. And Ian Book came in, he won the bowl game. And Ian Book's a pretty good passer. And Brian Kelly has said, I'm not hesitant to bring Ian Book in for a few plays, for a series if I need to. But they kind of went back a little bit and just reestablished. Wimbush is the guy. He's the guy who we think gives us the best chance to win. But he's got to feel a little bit of that heat.
Even with the 49% completion last year, he made so many big plays. He still is going to win football games.
Responsible for 30 touchdowns. It's 3rd and 2. He is running here for that first down. He's going to get it. He put his shoulder down into Tyree Cannell, the safety, the Michigan captain. And Wimbush got past the 35, and the drive will continue inside the 10-minute mark here.
Well, last year, opening day, he said he wanted to get hit and carry the ball a little bit. It's going to be another one of those days where he has a lot of carries. He's going to be sore tomorrow.
He played a bit in his first year on campus, then did not play in that second season, 2016. So it had been almost 2 years since he really got hit. And he kept telling us week 1, I can't wait to get hit. And then against Temple, he kept getting hit. Pitch to Tony Jones Jr. Got the numbers on the edge, and Jones has a first down at the 47-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline, and Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, while Wimbush and Rashawn Gary are rivals on the field, in the stands tonight, Wimbush and Gary's mom are actually friends. I spoke to Heather Wimbush last night. She told me she and Jennifer struck up a friendship while the two sons were playing youth football in New Jersey. They speak about every week, but she told me this week in this game, the moms are keeping a respectable amount of distance between them, Mike.
A Jersey story told by someone from Jersey. Catherine, it's a great story, too. These two young men played against each other in a high school state championship game, played at a very high level. So they've known each other for many years, and they meet on the football field here tonight. First down run for just 2 yards inside there with Tony Jones Jr.
And along those Jersey lines, Catherine was wearing her Rutgers red today with pride.
Proud former student athlete.
And they won today, too, gentlemen.
That's right, of the State University of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's right, 1-0.
All alma maters on our team are covered. BC won, Syracuse won, Rutgers won. So everybody's over 500 at some point this year, right? Irish will play Syracuse, our last NBC game at Yankee Stadium this year. So that'll be a lot of fun. Bookending our schedule with 2 big ones. Run inside for Jones. So Jones, Armstrong, Davis, you've seen 3 running backs. You have not seen Dexter Williams for the Irish. It's been widely reported that he has a 4-game suspension that he is serving. Williams not on the field in action, but is in uniform for Notre Dame. Brian Kelly couldn't confirm for us or comment about any suspension that has been widely reported. But Williams still a part of this team and will not play here tonight. 3rd and 3. Wimbush has to throw it. Contact on the side with Avery Davis, and a flag is down.
It's Josh Ross just tackling Davis. Davis is in the game to run routes out of the backfield. Tried to run a wheel route down the left side.
Get caught with that.
and Ross just tackled him.
Number 12. The hold was on an eligible receiver. The ball crossed the line. 10 yards. First down.
Good explanation by Jeff Flanagan as it'll move it inside the Wolverines 40. And it'll be at the 35-yard line.
Avery Davis still in the game. They like to do a lot with him out of the backfield with routes. And usually you can tell by his split and his width of his alignment that he's on his way out of the backfield.
Wimbush starts in the shotgun, hops under center.
Throwback.
Yeah, a flag is down. The throwback is here to the aforementioned Avery Davis, who makes a couple of moves and gets to the 20-yard line. But that flag thrown right away on the edge as Michigan was moving people and had a bunch of eligible receivers over there to the right.
A man went in motion, another man shifted. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Again, so you had the motion going on there, and as the players moved, another shift.
Someone may not have been set when the motion started. Oh, there you go. I think it was Alize Mack actually in the backfield that was shifting his feet around while the motion was coming.
As Fink came in motion, so halfway through the quarter, it's 1st and 15 for Notre Dame, leading 14-3. They scored the first 14 of this one. There's wide splits on the Michigan defensive line as they bring 4. Wimbush finds a space to run and takes off, and they chase him, but he's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Doug, we talked about how good the Michigan defense is, but there's only so much you can do with a running quarterback. Sometimes he uses your speed against you.
He just, this Eichenberg is here at left tackle, and he's got a big pass rusher on the outside, pushes him past the pocket, almost gets beat, but Wimbush's awareness in the pocket today has been excellent in stepping up.
2nd and 4, sidearm fling to Fink, and a touchdown earlier. He's got a first down here. Tackled by Khalid Hudson at the 20-yard line as the Irish keep moving the chains inside of 7 minutes.
And Eichenberg out there at left tackle is filling big shoes of McGlinchey. Nelson is gone at left guard, so that left side is under a lot of pressure. This is his inaugural game going up against Gary and Winovich.
Doing well so far. His first start from the 20. Wimbush reverses field, chased by Gary. And Wolverines wait for him, shuts it down after a gain of 3 on the sideline. They say the hit comes inbounds, so no penalty for a late hit on Jamarick Woods, who's the safety, a backup playing in part because of the Metellus ejection.
Yeah, Woods going after him at the sideline. The contact is made inbounds. I mean, by the time he grabbed him, he was on the white, but contact was made inbounds. There's no call there.
Isn't it nice having Terry McCauley here? You look at him.
Terry, yeah, I'm looking over at Terry. Yeah.
And your confidence increases, Doug. I like it. So now it's 2nd and 7. Good block in the backfield, but not much going to happen for Avery Davis as Woods makes his 2nd consecutive play on the run.
Really nice job of reacting up by Woods from the secondary. He was deep on that play and came up and made contact just beyond the line of scrimmage. So he saw it quickly, deciphered it, and closed.
We have a Michigan injury here. I believe it's David Long, the corner, who's on a knee outside the numbers inside the 10-yard line.
Brandon Watson would be backing him up, a 5th-year senior. And, you know, with the type of defense they like to play, corners are invaluable.
Motion of his eye. Let's see what they look at here. Lavert Hill and David Long, the 2 corners for Michigan. Both return. They are very good cornerbacks. Some of the top-graded corners returning in the country this year. So the Wolverines have like one of everything on defense. But right now, their defense is on the ropes. They're facing the 3rd and 7. down 11. And back here in South Bend, David Long, helped off by the athletic training staff. Ambry Thomas, number 1, has come into the lineup for Michigan. Michigan has extra DBs here on this 3rd and 7. Brandon Watson, one of those extra defensive backs. He'd normally be in nickel situations as well. So let's see where Notre Dame goes offensively from the 17. Wimbush looking to take off. He's got a block. Did he get to the 10? He went out of bounds instead of cutting inside. He needed to get to the 10. So what's Brian Kelly going to do? Let's see the mark first. It's very, very close. They had to get right to the line at the 10-yard line. Often at the start of a first down, they'll put it right on one of those big numbers, like exactly to the 20. They get it exactly to the 10. They're going to be short, but Notre Dame has kept the offense out there. They're ready to go for it, and Harbaugh's going to take a timeout because he's not sure what's going on his side. So timeout, Michigan. Wimbush is running and passing has been a very big part of the Irish taking the lead so far.
What a productive day. We anticipated him using his legs, but he's doing a great job of delivering the ball in one-on-one coverage, putting in a good spot for his receivers to make a play, and escaping up through the pocket, something he wasn't doing a lot last year. With these edge rushers coming deep, he's doing a nice job of stepping up through. This deep ball, just make a play. This was a just throw ball. I think he had his mind made up before that play even happened, but he's giving his receivers an opportunity to go up and making plays for him and running the ball extremely well. In the last series, he carried the ball 3 out of the first 4 plays, and the next 3 plays had the option to maybe carry the ball. So there's no hesitation to have him running the football. These situations, 4th and short, if he is in the gun, I would anticipate him carrying it, because like I said earlier, it's the only time you can block every defender and run power football is when your quarterback is running the football. So they'll use him in power situations. They'll use him just scrambling and moving or on the edge.
Irish have run it 18 times. He's run it 9. It is 4th and like only a couple of inches. They just have to get to the 10-yard line. 4 tight ends in the game. Wimbush keeps. He gets a push from Brock Wright legally from behind in the stadium where the Bush push by Reggie Bush happened. First down and goal for the Irish with 5.5 till the half.
Notre Dame's Michigan impression with extra tight ends and the quarterback under center. You got a tight end at fullback, 3 tight ends in the game, 4 tight ends total.
Now the Irish bring receivers out. Miles Boykin, Chase Claypool. Those are the tall receivers. They go to the top of the screen, and a couple of tight ends come out to the left side. So all 6'4" or 6'5" of the 4 receiving options for Wimbush, who's going to get hit and go down. Chase Winovich off the edge, had 8 sacks last year. Starts his tally for his senior season with that one.
Devin Bush coming from the opposite side. Winovich puts Hainsey in his lap, but as well, Bush, number 10 here, just comes through, pushes right through Tony Jones to the quarterback, pressure on both sides. Brandon Wimbush was trying to stand solid and deliver the ball in man-to-man coverage, meeting at the quarterback.
We'll split that sack. It is now 2nd and goal. Back at the 18, Wimbush, they're going to throw it back. It's caught by Jafar Armstrong, who made a man miss, and another, and he's out inside the 10-yard line to set up a more manageable 3rd and goal. Tyree Cannell, the safety, the stop for the Wolverines.
Eichenberg did a really nice job on that, just getting a piece of his man to allow him outside.
But they're letting Michigan's speed be used against them. See, they come after Wimbush, go back behind where all that speed came from. Good game plan so far by Chip Long, the second-year offensive coordinator.
That is the 2nd throwback style screen they've done so far.
3rd and goal for the Irish. Wimbush stepping up, throwing end zone, incomplete for Miles Boykin. Good coverage there from Brad Hawkins, and we get a late flag down back by where the pass rush happened. Let's see what this key call is.
Now roughing the passer.
Winovich.
This is to the goal. First down.
Big mistake for the 5th-year senior.
Winovich did a good job of pushing up the field, but came back under 1, 2. Terry, what do you think?
Okay. Okay, so he leads with the helmet into the back, and it's a little bit late. This is a pretty good call by the referee. I think this is roughing the passer. Shouldn't have lowered his helmet and hit him in the back.
That kind of adds to it. If it was a gray area, it takes a little bit of the gray away, in your opinion?
Absolutely.
And Winovich off the field.
He has to hit him within the first step. It's close there, but when he lowers the head, that's a foul.
Wimbush off as well, so Ian Book is in, and he hands left side, and it is Armstrong to the pylon, and in for the touchdown. So a big mistake by the Wolverines, fifth-year senior, and Notre Dame capitalizes with the score.
Got your tight ends on the outside cutting down, but 71, Alex Bars gets the pull, gets enough of his man to allow the corner to be had. Armstrong with just speed to the pylon.
And you saw Armstrong had a hand up there, and he turned the shoulder pad to Lavert Hill. That could have been called a hold there. Notre Dame's very lucky that that was not called on the tackle. Extra point, Justin Yoon. Maybe not a stunner that Notre Dame's leading, but for many, a stunner that they've scored 21 in 22 minutes against the vaunted Michigan defense. Armstrong in the house for the second time. And the Irish are on top 21-3. Top performances brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the 1988 season opener we mentioned before. Bo against Lou and Reggie Ho. Brett Musburger calling that night. The biggest little man in South Bend. 26-yard field goal put the Irish ahead. Then Mike Gillette from 48 just missed that as time expired. The Irish won the first one. They won their next 11. Their last national title back in 1988. A reunion of that team here tonight. Lou Holtz is in town, spinning tails as Lou's lads get together. There is Reggie Ho, who's a doctor and does some sensational work as well. This kickoff is not fair caught. Ambry Thomas brings it out from the 3. Thomas had a good return earlier, and here's Thomas with a nice one. Still on his feet, and Ambry Thomas is gone all the way for a Michigan touchdown. Mega, much-needed play for the Wolverines. 99 yards for number 1.
Michigan touchdown.
Great job of setting up the return at the wedge area. No longer true wedges, but creates a crease. And Nico Fertitta had an opportunity right there to bring him down. And strong running, ran through 2 arm tackles, and then continues down the field.
Very interesting. People are thinking about good hang time, fair catch the ball, so it comes out to the 25. But if you have great athletes, you need to think about taking it out every once in a while. And Thomas did a lot of the work there. Extra points added by Nordine, and Michigan gets back in it 14 seconds after the Notre Dame score.
What a game changer. 21-0. You're getting it handed to you so far. Nothing's going right. You bust a kickoff return, the energy level will go through the roof. It's got to transfer to the Michigan defense for them to step up, and you're right back in the ballgame.
Brian Pullian, the special teams coordinator, talking to Brian Kelly. Brian Pullian was here at Notre Dame, then became the head coach at Nevada, and has taken over the special teams the last couple of years. And they've had a couple of problems with the kickoffs. Nora had one kickoff go out of bounds, then had a late hit on the second kickoff, which was mitigated by a Michigan holding penalty. And that time the kickoff has returned 99 yards. And it's 21-10. Michigan, as you said, Doug, gets right back in.
And everyone's trying to get the kickoff return out of football. How big a play is that? How exciting a play is that? Just a great moment for Michigan. Yeah, they've had nothing so far. They've moved the ball a little bit. And now they're right back in it.
And it was Thomas who took it back, a Detroit kid, Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. State champion. He was a terrific receiver in his high school days, playing DB here for the Wolverines, but made the big play on special teams. Now Jake Moody kicks. With Jafar Armstrong, who's already had a couple of touchdowns tonight on offense, returning. And he's brought down at the 22-yard line. Looking forward to the fall season and a legendary hospital with a revolutionary doctor. A doctor who will break the rules to heal the system. New show is New Amsterdam. It's Tuesdays this fall and it debuts in 3.5 weeks, September 25th, here on NBC.
Very important series here. Do you stem momentum for Michigan, or does Michigan's defense turn it up now and give their offense another opportunity? So this is a big set of downs coming out.
Again, it is game one. Game conditioning a factor. It is a humid night. These two units have been on the field a lot. From the 23, good patience run here by Armstrong. Showed a little natural running back ability for a guy who's not naturally a running back, and he's close to the 30-yard line.
Coach was saying he runs a little bit upright, being a wide receiver. You got to get him to lower the pads a little more, but his instincts are there.
Remember, Winovich had that late hit on the last drive. He's not on the field right now. Kwity Paye is playing the other defensive end for the Wolverines, and a first down run here for Jafar Armstrong. They moved him before spring ball to give him a little sense of what it was going to be like on that offensive side through spring camp. You lose Josh Adams, a 1,400-yard season last year. All those big home runs, too. Remember, he had 470-plus yard touchdown runs for the Irish. But here's one of the good parts of Armstrong. You can treat him as a receiver or a running back. Starts as a receiver, comes back to the backfield, and he runs into a wall of white. Only a couple of yards there. And a timeout being taken here.
Michigan is playing the clock. They'd like to get one possession back before the end of the half to have an opportunity to close the gap even more. And then from the Notre Dame side, you're thinking work it down the field and score at the end of the half as well.
The clock was stopped by the officials. I thought Michigan might have been taking a timeout, trying to get them to stop twice and get the ball, but it was more administrative. So the clock restarts and dives under 2.5 minutes till halftime. When Bush throws, it's complete, and Avery Davis will be stopped at the 38-yard line. So 3rd and 4 coming up when the next snap happens. Josh Ross, by the way, that's about the 4th tackle Ross has made the last 2 drives out of Southfield, Michigan. Terrific high school program, St. Mary's, division champs multiple times when Ross was there. He's been playing a significant amount here in this second quarter.
3rd and 4, you're going to get one-on-one matchups at receiver spots or a quarterback run. So he's
going to get timeout here first. They're going to let the play clock run all the way down. And Michigan will take the Notre Dame, it should say, will take the timeout. With 1:33 till halftime. Jim Harbaugh and Michigan, been a while since they won a true road game against a ranked team. Trying to do it tonight. State Farm halftime report. Liam McHugh, Chris Sims are here. Talk about this game and Wimbush outplaying Patterson. Tim Layden has a great look at the Michigan-Notre Dame rivalry over the years. And 11 years to the day of Appalachian State in the Big House. They almost did it in Happy Valley. They'll show you the highlights all coming up. State Farm halftime report. 3rd and 4. Big money down here for both teams as Wimbush gets hit by Winovich but completes the pass to Claypool at midfield. First down for Notre Dame. Wimbush was taking the hit. He stayed in the pocket and completes it.
He's doing a great job of stepping up. He gets pressure from the outside from Winovich around the edge, coming hard around that edge again. He's going to take a hit, but delivers a strike on the under route to Claypool.
Michigan player hurt back behind the play. I think it's Devin Bush Jr. there. Outstanding inside linebacker there. Took a hit. Ooh, and they're looking at that right leg, and he was in pain as they grabbed it. So athletic training staff and Jim Harbaugh out to look at this preseason first-team All-American who was a Butkus Award finalist last year. He was blocked at the end of that play in some pain right away. They'll look at him. We'll step out. There's Devin Bush Jr. walking back, putting weight on it. He was holding the Gatorade bottle and trying to give him as much liquid as possible. So there's hope if it's a Michigan fan that it's a cramp and that he'd be back in the second half. They'll look at him back in the locker room. Meantime, first down for the Irish from midfield. It is Wimbush on the keeper, trying to get to the edge, and the journey's going to end quickly as he's taken out of bounds. And Michigan's doing what they should do. They're hitting Wimbush hard and often when he's running it 12 times in the first half.
Well, they were bringing it up inside. They had him outnumbered. They had Notre Dame outnumbered on the inside, so he had to pull the ball and couldn't get to the edge. He's going to take a lot of hits tonight. He's done a good job throwing the ball so far with 10 completions to 7 different receivers so far.
As the ranked scores go by, big matchup. Auburn beat Washington. Liam and Chris can have all the highlights of these games. All the key ones coming up in just a moment. On 2nd and 9, Wimbush. They set up the screen and it's almost intercepted by Brad Hawkins. If it would have been completed, it could have gone for a long distance. Hawkins almost took it a long distance to really change the complexion of this one.
Davis in the backfield looking for a screen, so he couldn't get out cleanly. So pressure gets to Wimbush, so he tries to anticipate and guess with him. Little bit overthrown. Now watch a ricochet. Davis almost came back up with it, and he would have been gone down the sideline.
If he catches that and he turns the corner, he's gone for a touchdown the first time and then the second time. Wow. 3rd and 9 with 56 seconds till halftime. Winovich brought down in the rush. A flag is down as the deep ball is thrown, and Fink is knocked down. There's no flag on the defensive pass interference side, but there will be a hold back here. An easy takedown of Winovich by Notre Dame. See if Harbaugh will decline it, take 4th down, and get the ball back.
Yeah, that was Hainsey on Winovich.
Offense number 72. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
And it's interesting on the business end of this, on the pass, because the receiver was stumbling and then gets pushed. So is the stumble starting first before the push? First, let's look at the hold.
Here's Hainsey out here, and Winovich does this. He lowers that shoulder and gets that low edge and tries to drive past. He gets the pull down. Here at the end of the play, he's losing his balance to begin with.
And Hill puts a hand on him. That causes him to lose the balance, but you wouldn't have called pass interference off that first one. It looked a lot worse than it was. Newsome bad punt earlier. Line drive here that Donovan Peoples-Jones catches inside the 5. Rare that returners do that, and that's why. Chase Claypool, the starting receiver, who is on several special teams units for the Irish, shows you why he is.
Here's one of your most talented receivers playing multiple special teams. He's just such a freak of an athlete. Gets down there. Peoples-Jones is a great athlete. Pulls him down at the 2-3 yard line in open space.
Remember, Notre Dame gets the ball to start, or Michigan gets the ball, excuse me, to start the second half. Michigan won the toss and put their defense out there first.
With only one timeout, they should kneel this down and run out the clock.
Michigan back at its own 2-yard line with 40 seconds till halftime. Patterson will give. Karan Higdon will get it to the 6 or 7 yard line.
I don't know why you mess with handing that ball off.
You just want to take and go in the line and not risk a disaster.
Kneel it down and get to the locker room. Joe Pisarcek.
1977, Eagles Giants, Miracle of the Meadowlands. Herman Edwards now the coach of Arizona State. Part of that play. The math has been done. Michigan doesn't need to snap it again. It's heading to the locker room halftime. Michigan's only touchdown on a kickoff return. Notre Dame 233 yards of total offense in the first half. State Farm halftime report coming up with Liam McHugh and Chris Sims. They'll talk about this one and tell you what happened on Saturday 1 right after these messages and a word from your local station.